G'day and welcome back to CruiseAway here on Gecko. I'm Derek, here to take you on the most fascinating cruise and stay adventures from right here in Oz. And this time we're investigating fascinating itineraries with homely Holland America Line, with lively trips taking you to Canada and New England with stays for June, and a fascinating Far East explorer on their beautiful Westerdam for next November, including 2 overnight stays in amazing Bangkok in Thailand. Now these trips are so full of imagination, and our first itinerary sees us taking in history and culture galore on a Mediterranean medley with Holland America for September of 2026. And we'll start 27 nights by flying you from Sydney over to Barcelona in Spain for a 2-night hotel stay. I love Barcelona as a city. It's just so varied, and there are so many tours that you can take in Barcelona if you want to. You can simply walk in any direction and there is something new. Of course, you want to go and see Sagrada Familia. You want to go to the amazing parks within the city as well, and wander down Las Ramblas and just take in the atmosphere and go and enjoy the bars and the restaurants and the cafes. Wonderful. Then it is time for us to cruise with Holland America on Oosterdam, and we're on board for 21 fabulous nights. Now, what you will find with Holland America Line is, it is like a welcome home. Everything is comfy and snuggly and warm and comforting and relaxing, and so full of music everywhere. What Holland America Line excel in really is just getting cruising so right. That lovely balance, that lovely mix of activities if you want to, but lovely spaces to be in to just chill out and relax. A nice mix of enrichment activities as well, like the Culinary Arts Centre that you're seeing there. It's great fun, you know. It's not like being back at school. It's just brilliant picking up a new dish to try when you get back home. It's a lovely thing to do, and you get to taste your wares at the end of it too. Talking of food, well, food is what Holland America Line really do so well. Really imaginative dishes served up beautifully. You've got main dining, which is a real treat, of course. You've got the fabulous buffet, which you can enjoy. That's open all the time, of course, the Lido. And then you've got dive in by the pool for grab and go, which is really convenient. 24-hour room service included in your fare, which is great, and lots of specialty dining to explore as well. Their famous Pinnacle Grill Steakhouse is on board, and as I say, you can see here, music is everywhere. So 21 nights then out of Barcelona, and we start by heading west to France, to Marseille, the home, of course, of the very famous Longchamp Palace and the Notre Dame de la Garde, which is really striking. I mean, France is wonderful anyway. Great wines, of course, in this part of the world too. Then we head across to Italy. Talking of wine, Livorno is your gateway port into Florence and Pisa. You could tour both of those in a day, actually. I definitely recommend spending some time in Pisa. It's a stunning city, quite aside from the Leaning Tower, which is stunning. Rome. Now, Rome is somewhere where you need to have a plan. You need to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to see the Pantheon? Am I going to go and do shopping and then throw some of my coins in the Trevi Fountain? Are you going to Vatican City? Make a plan for that day. It's a stunning city. Talking of historic cities, Naples, wow, what a place to be. It's wonderful. You've got the Amalfi Coast there. You've got the Isle of Capri, and of course the ancient ruins in Pompeii as well. So lots of choices here in Italy as well. Before we head off to Corfu in the Greek islands, of course, in Greece. Again, lots and lots of history to drink in here, but Palakastritsa Beach, if you do get the chance there, it's an absolute haven. It really is. It's beautiful. Then we head off to Dubrovnik, one of the busiest cities in this part of the world right now. Thanks to Game of Thrones, of course, the city walls are all there. I'm sure you want to have your picture taken in those iconic scenes around the town. Next, we head into Kotor as well. Now, Kotor is beautiful because Montenegro is very unspoilt. Tourism has only really just arrived in the last sort of few years. So it's very authentic and just so scenic. It's beautiful. We cruise on to Zadar in Croatia. Lesser sailed into, I would have to say, in many cruise itineraries, but has some wonderful nature wonders there. You see the national park picture with the falls there, and it just looks idyllic. Next, we head to Trieste in Italy. And this is really kind of like the far eastern flings of Italy, actually. And again, like a lot of Italian cities and towns, very historic. Next, we head back into Croatia, into Rijeka, which has some real hot spots. Let me tell you, if you do get the chance to visit Pula, then do that, because that's well worth taking a tour down to. But you can see the waterfront is stunning. Stay in Croatia for Split here, full of palaces and ruins as well. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'd love to take that trip to the Red Lake there, which looks like a lovely volcanic crater there. But again, lots of tours on offer from Holland America Line as you make a way around. Well, this is somewhere which needs no introduction. Santorini, of course, in the heart of the Greek Isles, one of the most pictured places on earth. It is just perfect. Then we cruise on to Mykonos, and this is a very, very busy tourist port, actually. But there's lots of things to go and tour out and see. Maybe the famous 16th century windmills of Delos, which are wonderful. And they tell an amazing story too in this part of the world. Next, we're off to Kuşadası in Turkey. This is your port for the ancient ruins of Ephesus, of course, that are still being unearthed now under the volcanic ash. It's just an amazing sight to see, it really is. While we're in Turkey, we have to go into the heart of Turkey, into Istanbul, of course. I mean, that's well worth seeing. The Blue Mosque and so many other huge attractions in the city to go and see, and of course the wonderful bazaars and markets. Then we take a day cruising the Dardanelles, which is so beautiful, and we disembark in Piraeus, which is the port for Athens. And we've checked you into a hotel for 2 nights in Athens, because it's such a wonderful city to chill out, enjoy the wonderful historic sites, of course, get into the Greek tavernas and eat as the Greeks do. Wonderful. Before you then fly back to Sydney. Look at your itinerary. This is a meaty holiday, isn't it? I love this. 27 nights is a holiday you can really get your teeth into, isn't it? You've got your time staying in Barcelona. You've got the cruise, which is taking you here, there and everywhere. You know, a nice mix of scenery, of lesser known ports, wonderful highlight ports as well, like Santorini and Mykonos, Dubrovnik, of course, with Game of Thrones. You've done all of that, into Istanbul as well. So it really is an itinerary and a half, this one, isn't it? So this Dream Away package is for September 2026. We are locking in a great price today and getting ourselves organised. Talk to the team about deposit opportunities as well, because this package includes your flight from Sydney to Barcelona, 2 nights in a hotel there, all covered, and then 21 nights of Holland America cruising on Amsterdam, cruising France, Italy, Greece, Croatia, Montenegro, Croatia, Turkey, ending in Athens for a 2-night hotel stay there, and then of course your flight back to Sydney from Athens. Do you want to have a guess at the price? Have a guess, have a think. No, not that much. Look, this is CruiseAway. We've been in this business for over 25 years, and it shows in every price tag that we deliver as well. Remember, there's no extra booking fee. On top of that, we've made all of the arrangements, the flights, the hotels, the cruise, and we've sorted the whole thing out for you with no extra booking fee. It's incredible. And you even call us on a toll-free number, 1300 408 765. And really, when you're on board, there's so much included in your cruise fare as well. You are going to absolutely love it. Let's have a look at upgrades as well, because obviously, like any hotel, there are different grades of rooms that you can be in. Our price is based on an interior stateroom, but if you want to upgrade that to ocean view or balcony, bearing in mind that's across 21 nights of cruising, you've got some incredible price tags in front of you right there. So call us now if you want to know any more, and I would get in, the sooner you get in for this, the better, because we are talking September 2026, but we are locking in the very best prices today for you as well. So 1300 408 765, that's our toll-free number. We're based here in Oz, of course, and we are tapping into the buying power of our parent company as well, which is based right the way across the world. So remember, we're booking a lot of cruises and a lot of hotels and a lot of flights on behalf of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people every single year. So that means that we can unlock discounts that the others just can't. Right, let's do another Holland America line then, shall we? And we're taking you this time across Canada and New England in homely comfort with musical Holland America line. It's 18 nights this trip and it's for June, and it starts by flying from Sydney to Montreal in Canada for a 3-night hotel stay. And we have rarely ever had stays over in Montreal. Of course, a lot of people will remember it from the Winter Olympics from I don't know how long ago in Montreal. There's wonderful things to see there. There's the Notre Dame Basilica, which is wonderful, botanical gardens, royal parks, there's wonderful markets, fabulous shopping. It's a great place to spend some time in Canada, and not a lot of people get to do that, which is great. Next, it's time to cruise out of Montreal on Volendam with Holland America Line. And all of the Holland America Line ships, I have to say, are stunning. But Volendam, and this footage is giving us an idea of life on board Holland America Line, but Volendam is a little bit smaller. It's more boutique cruising. It's just 1,500 passengers or so, which is lovely. Still has a very, very impressive atrium. Still has a massive variety of restaurants on board for you. The famous Canaletto specialty dining restaurant, the Italian, is on board Volendam as well. And you will just adore the entertainment of an evening as well, by the way, because there are lots and lots of different things. In fact, they're doing a Dancing with the Stars at Sea special entertainment right now, as well as live game shows. And there are other activities that you can get involved with. Things like the Culinary Arts Centre that we just saw there has brilliant boutiques on board. You can buy diamonds and gemstones, watches, you know, it's all there for you, duty free as well. Plenty of pools to relax and enjoy on board, and plenty of games you can play outside. Tennis court, there's a basketball court and shuffleboard as well, which I've never quite got my head around. I must have a go the next time I go on board a ship, but it's all there for you. Plenty of relaxation, plenty of nightlife with lots of music venues on board for you to enjoy as well. And what a fascinating itinerary this is as well. I love it. So we are coming out of Montreal, cruising the St. Lawrence River down to Quebec City. And this, again, is a wonderful place to be. The city itself is stunning, but you have so many natural wonders you can see in the area as well. So, again, talk to the team on board about what you might like to do. You cruise next the Gulf of St. Lawrence through to Charlottetown on Prince Edward Island. And again, this is a place on the itinerary that very few cruise ships actually visit. So, very authentic experiences in this part of the world. Sydney next in Nova Scotia, which is wonderful. It almost reminds me of like the Highlands landscapes of Scotland. It's very, very similar indeed. Wonderful rugged trails for you to take. Next we head into Saint-Pierre and Miquelon, which is part of France actually. It's French Canada, and it's beautiful. So you can explore the islands here, or you can head in to Saint-Pierre itself and just enjoy. Halifax is next in Nova Scotia as we make our way south here. And these are very, very countryside areas as well. So it's really nice to mix up, you know, busy city centres with the countryside. It's wonderful. And wineries too. Great wines come from this part of the world. Next, we make our way down through the States into Eastport next. So we're coming down the coast. Of course, seafood, a big thing in this part of the world. And the phenomenal Casco Bay is well worth seeing with the stunning lighthouse as well. Portland in Maine. Again, Portland, very, very famous for the lobster, of course, in this part of the world and the fresh seafood. But there are brilliant local attractions for you to see as well. You end your cruise in Boston, and that's where we say goodbye to Volendam and Holland America Line. But we are staying here. We've booked you into a hotel for 3 nights in Boston. This is a phenomenal, fantastic city. I mean, you've got the Freedom Trail, which you can take. You can walk that. You can do it by Segway, as you can see there. You've got the Cheers Bar. You've got lots of other attractions there before we then fly you back to Sydney. So if you've ever wanted to do Canada and New England, this is a brilliant new there's a new way of doing it, because doing it out of Montreal, doing some different ports through Canada and New England as well, and spending some time in Boston. brilliant. It just works. And this is what Holland America Line do. They are all about enrichment on board, and you'll have lots of information while you're on board, going along the cruise, by the way. Lots more information about the ports that you're going into, live presentations, excursion opportunities. So you don't have to do lots of homework before you go, but if you've ever wanted to do this part of the world, it's a nice time to do it as well. Actually, it's nice and bright. It's good weather at this time of the year. There's lots out in full bloom as well. So this is a great way to do Canada and New England, but a little bit differently with this Dream Away package. So your flight included from Sydney over to Montreal in Canada, 3 nights in a hotel there, 10 nights of cruising on Volendam with Holland America Line through Canada and New England and New France actually as well, all the way through down to Boston, where you have a 3-night hotel stay there included, and of course your flight back to Sydney. Now, if you and I were trying to organise this ourselves, the travel from one place, let's just forget that we were on a cruise for a second. So we've got to fly over to Montreal and then get to all of these different places that the cruise goes to. How are we going to get to all of these places? How many tickets do we have to buy? How expensive will it get very, very quickly? We have stitched the whole beautiful package together and have stays in Montreal and Boston included. And look, and that's a full board 10-night cruise with Holland America Line. So when you're on board there, your food, your entertainment, the pools, the activities, so much going on is part of your cruise fare as well. The value here is plain to see, I have to say. So all you need to do right now is call us and book it. It's as simple as that. It's an amazing holiday. It's a lovely part of the world to go and explore. It's a very interesting part of the world to go and explore. I can understand why so many people want to do it. Now, if you want to upgrade on your cruise, maybe you like the fresh air of the balcony doors open and sitting out there and having your breakfast, let's have a look at the prices for Ocean View, balcony and for suite. I have to say the price tag is awesome. And if you think about where we are in the calendar right now, today, June's not that far away at all, is it? We don't have a long time to wait for this holiday either, and I like that, because the sooner you can be on holiday, the better, right? When was the last time you had a real escape of a holiday and explored a part of the world that was completely and utterly different? This allows you to do that. And of course, if you want to tinker with the stays there in Montreal and Boston, talk to the team. Maybe after your Boston stay, you want to go to New York, you want to go to Orlando, you want to go to Las Vegas, you want to go to Los Angeles. Talk to the team, we'll make it happen, no problem. Make it part of your package. And you can put a deposit down to get that price locked in today as well. Just talk to the team on 1300 408 765. It's easy. It's so easy. That's what we do here at CruiseAway. It's great to have your company, by the way. I'm Derek. If we've never met before, it is lovely to have you with us. We are CruiseAway. We've been in the cruise business for over 25 years. So when you call that number, it is our team of cruise experts that you will connect with straight away here in Oz. And you know that here at CruiseAway, we always seek out the biggest adventures and wait until you see my next one as well, because we are about to take the most epic cruise route on this journey. It's a Far East Explorer. It's for next November, and it's over 32 nights in all, starting with our flight from Sydney over to Singapore to spend 3 nights in a hotel there. And I think this is a real treat, actually. Staying in Singapore, you know, for a good amount of time is something we don't often do. I mean, it's our layover, isn't it, for a flight beyond. And actually, it's really nice to stop, because if you haven't explored Singapore for a long while, oh my word, it's changed so much. The buildings, the architecture, the attractions, it really is a massive tourist city. And you've got to see it at night. There's you know, just going in during the day is not even half the story. So you get 3 nights in a hotel there before we start cruising on Holland America Line's Westerdam this time. And we're on board for 27 nights. That's my kind of cruise. Thank you very much. Now, have you heard of pickleball? Pickleball seems to be this thing on cruise ships now that is just becoming massive. And on board Westerdam, you can play pickleball at sea. They've got courts there. They've got teachers there that can teach you the basics, and you can have a lesson and get involved in tournaments if you want to as well. If you'd rather be horizontal in the spa, that's fine by me. It is there for you right the way through your cruise. And They've just made some additions to Westerdam as well, actually, to some of their fabulous menus. There are new menus in the Pinnacle Grill Steakhouse, which is one of the specialty dining restaurants on board, and their signature Italian speciality is on board, Canaletto, as well. Now, in terms of entertainment, in the World Stage, which is your largest theatre on board Westerdam, variety of different performances. Some of those are during the day, some of those are at night as well. They'll have wonderful lectures and presentations and game shows during the day, and then of the evening you have got the most brilliant feature shows as well, featuring Cantare, Island Magic. They've got the Step 1 Dance Company numbers on there, and so much more. And of course, let's just think about what's included in your fare. I'll come back to that in a second. We've got 27 nights of cruising to go and do. Okay, first of all, we are, after a day at sea, into the port for Bangkok, and we are here for an overnight, not for the first time on this itinerary. There are 2 overnights in Bangkok, so you've got a total of 4 days there, which is brilliant. So you can do it by day and by night. Next, after a day at sea, we are in Phu Mai, which is the gateway port into Ho Chi Minh City. Mekong Delta cruises are honestly unforgettable and well worth doing here. There will be an excursion, I'm sure, to do that before we move on to the further reaches of Malaysia, really, into Kota Kinabalu there. This is all about natural scenery and getting down with the wildlife here. Wonderful. It just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? We have a day at sea, and we are in the Philippines next, into Puerto Princesa. Now, I love when any cruise ship goes into the Philippines, because you'll often find that your crew on board hail from around the Philippines, certainly a lot of them. And they tell you stories and give you real highlights to go and see, you know, things far off the beaten track. We're in Manila, also in the Philippines, of course, the capital. We're here for an overnight as well, so you've got 2 full days to take up those great ideas that you'll get from around the ship as well. And that's part of the service on board Holland America. A day at sea, we're in Hong Kong. There's a Disneyland here. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. I just think it would be amazing. It's a very bustling city to go and enjoy, and great shopping there too. A day at sea, and we make our way into Vietnam, into Ha Long Bay first, into Kai Lan, which is, I mean, it is just picture perfect. It's somewhere where you want to take that top picture cruise, that little sailboat there. That's where you want to be in this particular port. It's beautiful. We then move on to Chiang Mai, in Vietnam, which is, again, is wonderful. You can tour into Hue and Da Nang from here, which are very important cities in Vietnam. Lots of big attractions to go and see. Day at sea, and we are back in for a second time into Phu Mai, which is, you know, another chance to see more of the wonders of Ho Chi Minh City as well. Maybe you took a Mekong Delta tour the first time. You've got more choices the second time. Sihanoukville in Cambodia. Now, this is wonderful. This will be like a step into days gone by. I would take a nice driving tour on this day and see those wonderful temples. Next, we are back into the port for Bangkok for the second of our overnight stops in the port for Bangkok, and this means that you can go in by night as well, because it's a very different city by night, and I think you should go and explore it and drink in everything there is to see before we cruise on to Koh Samui, into Nathon in Koh Samui in Thailand as well. This is a wonderful scenic resort to go and tour as well. I would definitely take an excursion here on this day. Further day at sea, and then we disembark in Singapore. We'll then transfer you to the airport and then fly you back to Sydney. Just look at the amazing variety and how much you come back into key ports on this, which I love. So double overnight in Bangkok, which I love. I think it is brilliant. You come back into the port to Ho Chi Minh City a couple of times as well, and just look at the dream-worthy destinations that you have to and from Singapore, and your stay there as well. I mean, this is like a holiday and a half. So if you've ever wanted to do the Far East, I have to say it's not something I've done so far, and I long to. Just seeing Singapore and the footage, I'm like, I want to be there. I want to see it. I want to drink in these incredible cultures and everything. So remember, this is for November next year. And it's 32 incredible nights, which is over a month's worth of holiday. Fantastic. Flying first to Singapore to stay there for 3 nights in a hotel. 27 nights of full board cruising with Holland America Line to the Far East, with those 2 separate overnight adventures in Bangkok, as well as cruising Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Hong Kong and the Philippines. Back to Singapore. We'll transfer you then from the port to the airport and fly you back to Sydney. And all of that for just this. And this is the reason why, if you've been thinking about this part of the world, this will get you one step closer to it. And you should not delay on this. You can, of course, this comes up in November. So you could put a deposit down on this right now. Just talk to the team and we'll talk through all of that for you. You can also break the cost down of your holiday as well. We have something in place called Travel Pay Later, which we can sign you into, where you can break down the cost of that holiday into 6 or 12 equal payments, which really makes budgeting so easy. Before we do that though, let's look at upgrades on board, because it is a meaty cruise, this one. This is what, 27 nights this cruise, isn't it, out of the 32 on this one. So that's really good. So if you want to upgrade to ocean view, balcony or suite, when you're looking at the prices, divide them by 27, because that gives you your price extra per night for having an ocean view or having a balcony. And they are lovely to have. They are lovely to have. They're lovely to talk about. It's great to tell other people, oh yes, we're going to do the Far East. We've got a balcony. You know, it does make a difference. I mentioned Travel Pay Later. Let me give you more details on that. You can sign up to this with our team when you book. It's really easy. There's a very simple application process. No upfront payment costs. You divide the cost of your holiday by 6 or 12 monthly installments. You can do that on any of our packages as well, by the way. It is interest free. There's a couple of admin fees to pay there, but it's very simple and our team can talk you all the way through that on 1300 408 765. But it does mean in some respects that you can sign up for a bigger adventure, and the budgeting is just that little bit easier for you. I love that. It's nice to have something in the diary as well, isn't it? Have you got any plans for 2025 in the diary so far? How much do you need a holiday? When was the last time you went on a big holiday? You know, sometimes you sit, and it's funny, isn't it? I mean, I'm 32 plus taxes, roughly speaking. I wish I was. But it's funny, isn't it? When you have a few more years on your own clock, time starts ticking much faster. And then you suddenly think, when was the last time I took a 2-week holiday? And then you're looking back and you're thinking, 10 years ago, what's going on? Life is for living, because we're here for a good time and not a long time. So while we can, we absolutely should. And cruise adventures are big adventures, and the cruise lines look after you so well. You could be going to hundreds of places that you've never heard of before on your cruise itinerary. You go visit them, you go tour them, and then you come back to that familiarity of the ship. And you don't have to keep unpacking and repacking and having a backpack everywhere. You don't have to do all of that. It's an amazing way to holiday. It really is. Anyway, listen, you know this already. So that's it. I'm out of time for this show. Come back and see us again here on Gecko for more CruiseAway very soon. And we'll have some brand new ideas for you. See you soon.